China wants to exclude U.S. from war games with ASEAN in disputed area. Reports the past few months have reportedly seen Beijing building military facilities and deploying defense systems on the disputed Spratly Islands in the South China Sea, which are also claimed by Taiwan, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam. China and the 10 countries from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, have agreed on regularly conducting joint military exercises, which should not involve countries from outside the region. The AFP news agency cited the Code of Conduct's proposed text as saying, "We believe that without any disturbances from the outside, Code of Conduct consultations will accelerate," Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi pointed out. Read more. U.S. to continue military exercises in South China Sea. Pentagon chief says he praised leapfrog progress in advancing ASEAN-China relations from quantity to quality, adding that the first China-ASEAN maritime drills are due to be held in October 2018. Wang was echoed by Singapore's Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan, who touted the draft Code of Conduct as a major achievement. The Code of Conduct is meant to ensure that peace, stability, and confidence are built up so that we can continue to make collective progress between ASEAN and China while we take time to resolve the territorial disputes, he said on Thursday. Read more. U.S. warships enter disputed South China Sea waters. Beijing slams move in this context. AFP quoted Hoang Ti-ha of the ASEAN Studies Center in Singapore as saying that Beijing's proposal to exclude outside countries is obviously targeted at the U.S., which has been dominating the waters of the Western Pacific and the South China Sea in particular. Ha stressed that Beijing is apparently sending a subtle message to the world that ASEAN and China could work together and things are progressing well, hence there is no need for external involvement in the South China Sea issue. In early June, Lieutenant Gen. He Lei, vice president of the People's Liberation Army's Academy of Military Science, made it plain that China has a sovereign right to deploy its forces and equipment in the Spratly Islands and that anyone who criticizes China's actions is trying to interfere in its domestic affairs. Read more. Chinese strategic bombers make debut landing on South China Sea Isles. The statement came after U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis lambasted Beijing for building up a military presence on the disputed South China Sea Islands. Earlier, 2 U.S. warships had reportedly conducted a Freedom of Navigation Operation (FONOP) near the Paracel Islands, claimed by China, in the South China Sea. The Chinese Defense Ministry condemned the operation, claiming that the warships had violated Chinese sovereignty and undermined strategic mutual trust, peace and security in the South China Sea. Read more. China to face consequences for militarizing South China Sea. White House warns the Spratly Islands are a disputed group of islets, cays and reefs, which are claimed by countries including China, Taiwan, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam as part of their territory. The past several years, China has devoted extensive resources to reclaiming many of these reefs from the sea and forming artificial islands, which has added to the debate about sovereignty over the region. ASEAN includes Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam.